Strevens, feels like it's been a little while since we've sat down together. We've not long to go until the season starts. You're looking forward to getting started.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's amazing when you come back into pre-season, you start doing your work, but the longer it goes on, you can tell the boys just want to get down to obviously the start of the season. And it's been obviously we're a little bit behind everyone else because of the scheduling and stuff like that. But we're getting to the business part of it now. We've got one pre-season game left, and then a week's prep ready for Wrexham. Fortunately for us, that means we can play Friday night and then go and watch some games on Saturday. So that's the last bit of preparation as well. Watching hopefully 8 teams potentially on Saturday, and then last week leading into the Wrexham game. Everyone ready to go, hopefully.
So since the last original friendly we had scheduled, we've added a couple in the last week. Can you talk us a little bit about those, and were they good for the extra minutes for the boys as well?
Yeah, so the first one obviously has been the Dagenham and Redbridge game that was added in. It was just going to be a behind closed doors at a training ground game at Dagenham because with the EFL starting and with the lower leagues below us starting this past weekend, there's no one really you can play. You can try and play under 23 teams, B teams, stuff like that. If not, you had to arrange games against opposition you might come up against. So we sort of waited till the fixture list come out. Dagenham wasn't too early in it, wasn't too far for us to go. So it was originally supposed to be played at their training ground because they was having their pitch done, and then right at the last second it turned into being played at their ground. There wasn't going to be any match reports, any of that sort of stuff. All of a sudden it did come out, but it was just another fitness exercise. They're a week probably further along in their preparation. We still had a few boys missing that will probably be ready for us in a couple of weeks, but a good tough test in terms of, I think they'll be a good team this year. Really tough for us the first half hour of the game. They was much better than us. We grew into the game second half. Lots to learn from it, good and bad. But that was fitted in at the last minute. And then obviously Brentford B were playing at Tottenham's Ground on Friday night, with our pitch getting done obviously over the summer. Tottenham are hosting it as if we're the home team, and that one got fitted in once we knew the schedule of him. We wouldn't be starting the first weekend of the season, so normally you have everything planned out for pre-season. We had to be a little bit creative towards the back end of it just because of teams playing, us starting a week later, but the main thing is we got the minutes in, which we did last Friday, and then also this next Friday coming up against Brentford B, and we're grateful that they're going to come and play us at Tottenham's Ground, and we're grateful that we can use their ground as well.
Yeah, we also managed to fit in one against Winchester as well. That was more to see the academy lads as well. So we won that one. Can you talk us a bit about how that went, and was it good for not only the first team but the academy as well for you to see them?
Yeah, so that one got. The reason I added that one in was just literally because I wanted to see the EDS boys that I hadn't seen yet, and they've been doing so well playing against other men's local teams. Speaking to Jason and Luke, they said they felt they was capable of being ready to play against a Winchester, someone like that, and we also was able to then top up the boys' minutes because as you're working through pre-season, it's very hard to keep everyone on the same minutes and the same time scale. Dan had missed the first part of pre-season through illness, so it was good for him. Then obviously we added a couple of players later into the pre-season, so people like Wheelo getting game time, and sort of making sure that we had a strong enough team to play against them so that it could help the EDS boys as well, because I think if we had just gone purely a youth team, it might have been a tough night for them. So that was really pleasing as well. We were grateful for them. It literally, that was 2 days before would you fancy playing us? They said 100% they would, and we're grateful that they was able to fit that in for us as well, and gave me a good look at these young boys I've not got to see a great deal close up yet, and also got more minutes into the players that I needed, and helping prepare ready for that first game of the season.
Yeah, and off the pitch, before we talk about our transfer business, we also announced 3 key members of the squad are staying with us in Ben House, Danny Hollands and Alex Winter. Could you tell us a bit about how you've managed to keep them, and also perhaps give us a progress update on Winter's injury as well? Yeah,
so I'll start with Dutchy obviously being my captain and being with me since I first took over. Obviously I was his assistant manager with Hesse, leading into then me getting the job and integral into everything I've done. So I was really keen on getting Dutchy to stay. He had to think about things over the summer, and more because he wants to be playing, he wants to be a big part of it. It's me making sure that he feels that way as well. And it was always going to sign. He was always going to stay with us, but it was just when it was going to be announced and stuff like that. But I'm absolutely buzzing that he's going to be staying. He's my club captain. Depend on him for a lot. People see what he does on a match day for me, but people don't see me sending him messages, putting into the lads' WhatsApp group for details of training or when we've got to do things, bits and pieces like that. Takes care of all the bits and pieces as a manager you don't want to get involved in until you really have to. So fines, things like that. So some of the boys probably give him a bit of stick for doing all that sort of stuff, but he's a senior member of the group that's got the respect of all the players and certainly respect of the coaching staff. That's the main thing for us. And then Housey obviously is a young lad that's a lot of talk about. was under the age of 24, so it was if someone come in for him and then take him away on compensation, so we protected that we would have got something. But I was desperate for him to stay. I was desperate for him to keep progressing, and me trying to help him kick on to where I believe he should be playing. I believe he's a Football League player, and I want him to be doing that with Eastleigh. That's the main objective of getting Housey to stay. But if he doesn't, like we've done with us, with some of the other boys, giving him a platform for him to perform and to keep getting better. Another real important part of the squad. I think everyone that see him from the first moment of last season, and I think he'll personally be better when we've got fans in as well. I think the Eastleigh fans are going to love watching how hard he works, what he does for the team. Apart from scoring goals is amazing, but everything else he gives to the team. So it was amazing that he decided to stay with us. I'm really grateful that the negotiations that went between me and his agent and stuff like that, it finally got signed off and he's staying with us as well. And the last one was Alex Winter, and Winter had such a tough year with injuries last year. Comeback was just showing everyone Winter's back, playing excellently well, ended up scoring a goal, crucial goal for us at Aldershot, was brilliant on the night as he always is, and then just went in for a real innocuous challenge. Fortunately the lad landed on his knee, pushed his knee over one way. Everyone could tell straight away it wasn't something too good. So we've been waiting. We waited for the swelling to go down, then we was waiting on a specialist appointment, and then it was finally decided that he would go in for an operation on Wednesday just gone as we're speaking. And we truthfully didn't know until the operation happened what was going to happen, whether he was going to be out for the whole season, part of the season, whatever it was going to be. We knew it wasn't going to be good news, but it went well from what I've been told and everything. I spoke to Winter about it and speaking to Cookie the physio about it. We're hoping around the January-February time. You never know with injuries. He could be back soon now. It might have little setbacks along the way, but we're really hoping that he'll be ready for us come January. And he's a fantastic boy. Honestly, one of the nicest kids you're going to meet. It was right for us as a football club to make sure he does his rehab with us, but also for me, knowing that I'm hoping come January time, I've got what I believe to be one of the best right-sided defenders in the league coming back into the group again. And I think that's all we're focusing on now. Now that he's had the op, it's the road to recovery. Once I see put a tweet out yesterday, that's it, focus, head down, road to recovery. And I'm certainly a happier person when I've got Wince back out on the training pitch with me and I can select him for match day. So the quicker that happens for me now, the better, and I'm sure everyone feels the same.
Yeah, no, we've also seen some incomings and outgoings. Joe Tomlinson obviously left us to go to Peterborough, and after him we brought in Harry Pritchard, Jake Hesketh and Tom Whelan, and we've spoke about all of those.
Yeah.
But we've also recently added Joe Lowe on loan from Bristol City, and also Danny Whitehall.
Mm-hmm.
So are you happy with how the squad's shaping up in those terms?
Yeah, look, the Joe Tomlinson situation, I think at the back end of last season, I had a fair idea that it was a good possibility he was going to be leaving us in the summer just because of how well he did, the amount of interest was in him. And truthfully, we got through the summer and we was coming back into pre-season, and I didn't think it, and I think Joe's mentality was as well that he was going to be with us for this season and get his head down and try and do as well as he could for us. And then literally out of the blue, the bid got made, and pretty quickly for all parties, because it's important for me that when I'm trying to get these young boys to come and sign for us and do well for us, if they get an opportunity to go and play in the Championship, I cannot be the manager, and the club will not be the type of club to stop anyone from doing that. The bid was where it needed to be for Joe to move on, and listen, we wish him the best of luck. His work ethic, his attitude, the support he has from his family, I'm not sure he's only going to go from strength to strength. And can't remember the pre-season game it was, but we was all looking, he made the starting lineup of the first game of the Championship, which is amazing. I didn't expect it to be that quickly. He'll probably be a little bit in and out of the team, but knowing Joe, he's going to want to play every minute, so that was amazing for him. The three lads we spoke about, obviously, talked about them and wanted to get them into the group, and then the two add in the last week or so, obviously with the situation where Wince was trying to wait and see what we was looking at, so that's why Joe's joined us from now till January. So hopefully for him, he comes and does really well, and he either stays with us to the end of the season, or Bristol City might want to bring him back into their group, we might see, but also gives an opportunity that Wince might be back in January as well. So that's just going to be working on that as the season progresses. And I've been looking to add another striker, been searching, speaking to people, interesting views that you get, miss out on this, that and the other, but Danny was right at the top of the list from how well he played against us for Maidenhead a couple of years back. Deservedly got his move, went up and played for Kilmarnock in Scotland, and he just gives us another option in the attacking third. I think it would be fair to say that a month when we was without Hilly, Housey and Ty, there was big misses, and it was a lot for Dan to take on his shoulders, being a young forward learning himself. So it was important. Obviously, we got Adam Marriott to join us at the end of last season to help with the attacking options, and now Danny comes in now to help us again now. And if he plays anywhere near how he played against us for Maiden at their place when they beat us 2-0 and he scored a couple of goals for them, he was a handful all over the pitch that day. So we're really pleased to add them both. Both gonna, Joe especially as a young boy, gonna need a little bit of work and help and stuff like that, which we'll give him. And Danny comes at a nice age, he's 25 years old, he wants to impress, wants to do well, and it was important for me from speaking to him. He was desperate to sign from us. There was interest from other teams, but he was desperate to sign for us. So really happy to get them both on board. They both fitted into the group well this week, and hopefully are going to be a big part of what we do this season.
Yeah, of course you may not want to detail too much, but is there any other areas you want to look at strengthening or trying to add to as we wait for the season to start?
Yeah, look, we're still in the market for a couple of positions. Obviously, with Wince being missing, and Tom Broadbent, obviously, but we'll speak about in a minute, been missing for a little while. I've had to be creative in pre-season with what I've been playing, and the shapes that we've been playing, and we've had some trialist play, we've had some young boys play. It's been great to see Thomas Braggs play so much football, but we've not really had a settled defence yet, and obviously we was built on a very good defence last year. So we're looking at that area. We're looking in the defensive third to see what's available. But we've got to get the right people, the right characters, the right players to make us better. I won't do anything for the sake of doing it, but we're still looking, and we'll see what happens in the next 10 days or so, but we're certainly looking at the moment.
Yeah, and you mentioned Tom Broadbent there, which is a good segue. We've seen the fitness get better and better of the lads. We've not had too many knocks, but Tom is one that's missed out on a few friendlies. Could you tell us a bit about why that was and if the rest of the squad is shaping up all right?
Yeah, look, everyone else is at the moment, everyone's fully fit, everyone's good to go, and the good news is, as I'm speaking today, which is Tuesday, Tom's planning on joining the group on Thursday to get going and get amongst the boys and be involved and stuff. So he just come with nothing too serious, but he had a little problem on one of his legs and then around his knee area. And then a couple of days into pre-season said he just felt it a little bit on his other side. So we eased him right down off of it because we thought, we've got plenty of pre-season to send him to see someone about it, and the best thing to do was to get something done to it. Unfortunately for Tom and for us, he got COVID in that time, not being at the football club, he was away from us. Everyone else had been doing their tests and they'd been fine, but that meant he couldn't go in and get done what he needed to do, so we had to wait for his isolation period to end, which was 10 days. Then as soon as he had his jab, that was another 10 days basically before he could do anything, so it just pushed everything back. But it's just the nature of what we're living in. It's a much better now than it was last year, but I think probably all the fans are seeing, you look at this weekend's games, it's still with us, COVID. There's probably 3 or 4 fixtures now that might not go ahead this Saturday. So just unfortunate for Tom, away from us, being back at home. But he's fine now, feeling great, back out on the training pitch, working with Cookie, hoping to involve him in the football stuff Thursday, Friday. And he's even maybe got a squeak of playing some minutes against Brentford because he's so, he wants to be out there, he wants to show what he can do and wants to help the players, boys as well. So we'll have to see that the next few days, see if he can do that. But it's positive with him. He's back out on the training pitch, he's back with us, and he's going to be a massive plus once he's back out there for all the boys and us as a coaching staff, because we want to see him playing as well. But he's trying his hardest to be ready for that first game of the season. Whether it comes too early for him, we'll have to see. But the main thing is, he's done everything he needs to do now, and he's back with us.
Perfect. And obviously the last bit of matters before the season starts is that friendly on Friday against Brentford. So what's your plan for that? Is it just another chance to get more minutes on the lads and get closer to your starting 11 for just over a week's time? Yeah,
look, that's important to know where we're going into on Friday, preparing for the following Saturday. So haven't decided yet what we're going to do in terms of team and stuff like that, but it's been tough because of the fact that we're playing at Tottenham, so it's a home game, but we've not been able to get out on the pitch, and it was important that the work got done to the pitch this season for Barnsley, everyone at the football club, and for our supporters to know that even when they look out their window on a Saturday morning, it's pouring down with rain, they're going to be coming to watch Eastleigh play next year. Apart from probably a situation like we had at that Hartlepool game where that was the heavens open, then that would call any game off, I think. The pitch is looking amazing. Barnsley's really happy with the progress with it. So we've sort of had to get this game in last minute, on a Friday night to play against Brentford B, and I'm grateful for them to come and play against us. But then giving us a full week to be ready for Wrexham, and hopefully for me, Barnsley watching this, we'll get to train a couple of times on the pitch, be ready. We can work on a few bits and pieces, actually being on our surroundings, getting used to the pitch again, ready for that game against Wrexham, because pretty quickly from going training ground, playing away at everyone we played against and having to play against all these teams away from home. We're going to be turning up against Wrexham on that 28th, and it's going to matter. We're going to want to be trying to win them 3 points with the crowd right behind us back on our home ground. So let's hope that the first time we step on it, it's going to lead to a positive victory. That's what we're planning towards. But yeah, Friday, playing against Brentford, seeing what the team will be like, working on a few different pieces, working hard in training. We'll start doing a few bits today on what we're going to be ready for. So yeah, the final part of pre-season is upon us, and can't wait to get going on the start of the season. Can't wait to see everybody as well.